guys, we have Elon and Trump are fighting again. Billboard Chris has won in Australia, and Candace Owens used to run a doxing website.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? My volume's still low. I had to restart the computer just before I started as well. Dear God. Ah, dear. How you going? Who we got first? Shannon was first. Whoa. Kai, how you going? Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Alex, how you going? Who else have we got in here? John Paul, how you going? Did I say hello, Menacing Muskrat? I think I did. Just me, how you going? Good to see ya. Geoloft, Sherry, Lucette, how you going, guys? Okay, there's some big news going on. So let's get into it. We're going to go to Canada first. Jonathan Kay said your annual Canada Day reminder that Trudeau and his government celebrated Canada Day 2021 by peddling the lie that the remains of 215 dead children had been dug out of a field in BC. He never admitted the falsehood, nor have most of the media that uncritically reported this nonsense. Apparently this was fake. Statement by the Prime Minister on Canada Day. This page has been archived. And it was Justin Trudeau. I can't even say his name right. I don't know. It's up to you whether you believe it or not. Ari Goldkind said in Canada, not only do we pay for all those who have contributed nothing to our country, tax base, we get to wait in an ER room for 8 hours behind them, their 5 kids and 4 parents, and then we get to wait 2 months for an MRI because they get to go ahead of us once off the plane. That sounds like Australia. Dan Hill said we're the only country in the world dumb enough to pay off the medical bills of people in our country illegally but not provide the same for our own citizens. Dumber than dumb. Like I said, it sounds like Australia. It's like a race for the UK, Canada and Australia to see who can get to the bottom first. I don't know, that's just the way it looks. Nadia said you can absolutely love your country while being awake and despising your corrupt government. Happy Canada Day to all you beautiful, freedom-loving, non-elbow-flapping Canadians. I agree. Is it Canada Day today? Happy Canada Day. It's 4th of July shortly in the US. Rad said, see the pattern? All socialist scums are following orders and destroying their countries. Key players, Australia, Canada, England. Starmer's socialist experiment of trying to spend your way out of debt and tax your way to prosperity has failed us yet again. Geez, it does sound like Australia. Keir Starmer was always the great pretender, not a proper leader, and here's why. Wow, that's from the Daily Express. Okay, never heard of him, but anyway. Government EXEs corrupt, said watch. The White House says Canada caved by rescinding the DST, while Mark Carney implies it was part of his strategy. The good news is the tax is gone and Carney looks like a retard yet again. Let's go. Zachary Teasdale said every time Trump mentions Canada as the 51st state. People go nuts over that. Okay, government EXE is corrupt. The United States will always be our closest friend and ally. Despite Mark Carney's claims, Canada is in North America. We are American, not European. Happy Canada Day and happy 4th of July to our American friends. On this one, Dr. Malouf, Muslim woman in Canada, complains there are not enough halal options in grocery stores. If I buy food and later find out it's not halal, I'll be very angry. Oh, whoop-de-doo. That's just going to do a lot, isn't it? If she wants halal so much, she could always go back to her own country. Do we want to listen to it? I don't know. We'll have a go.
This is how we check ingredients. Like, we live in Canada, which means not everything here is halal. Halal means permissible for us to consume. Now, because not everything is halal, there are steps that we need to take to make sure that the food that we're getting is okay for us to eat. So how do we do that?
We get Pokemon snacks.
No, we check the ingredients. But before we even check the ingredients, we check to see if there's a kosher or halal symbol. This one has a kosher symbol, so it's okay for us to eat.
So if it's kosher, we don't have to check the ingredients?
For this one, I might still to check if there's vanilla extract, because vanilla extract has alcohol. Alcohol can be kosher, but not halal.
But when you're checking the ingredients, what do you check for?
Anything that's animal derived, anything that's pork derived, alcohol, vanilla extract, gelatin, glycerin, cheese.
Cheese, isn't that just milk?
Well, cheese doesn't just have milk yard. Also, because we're in Canada, we have to make sure that the halal meat in these...
This looks like some freaking advertisement. Seriously, go home. Go home. Oh my God. And I found out what halal is. It's slowly bleeding the animal out instead of actually trying to kill it quickly and humanely as possible. The thing actually is like it's torture. Elon Musk. Okay, here we go. Elon Musk and Trump are fighting again. Unusual Wow said breaking. Trump implies Doge may look at Elon Musk's subsidies. Donald J. Trump said Elon Musk knew long before he was so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It's ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far, and without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop, head back home to South Africa, no more rocket launches, satellites or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved. And Elon said, I'm literally saying cut it all now. Oh, this is more BS. No, it's theatre. It really is. Oh, dear. That's so funny. Here we go again. They're trying to distance Elon from Trump, I believe. That's what I believe is happening. But hey, I could be wrong. You never know. By the way, everyone mentioned here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I mention is theory until proven fact, even if it is fact. Muse said Doge Secretary Rubio announced that US aid is officially shut down. All vital programs and grants have been moved to the State Department. The left's favourite slush fund was quickly identified by Elon Musk and the Doge team. as an ideological virus that costs taxpayers more than the CIA each year to run. The agency pushed radical gender ideology, DEI, ESG, and funded insane programs that serve no legitimate purpose other than to provide a jobs program for the relatives of Democrat politicians and judges. It sounds like what our government was doing. There you go. Interesting. JV said, did Elon Musk bitch about any of Joe Biden's debt increasing bills? No, he didn't. Or Obama's. Okay, Vince Langman said the king of the Pentagon is at it again. Elon's trying to kill President Trump's big beautiful bill at the last minute by threatening to primary anyone who voted for it. He's about to find out who the MAGA king is this week. And this one, Randy the Savage, said Elon voted for Barack Obama. Elon voted for Hillary Clinton. Elon voted for Joe Biden. Elon promoted DeSantis in the primary. Elon may have his area of expertise, but it sure as hell isn't politics. Hello, Elon. Go back to building your little rockets and things, okay? Okay, Clandestine said just a couple of months ago Elon was crying about tariffs. Since then, the market has already fully recovered and we have already brought in $88 billion in revenue. The tariffs have also granted Trump leverage in negotiations, which he has parlayed into economic and peace deals. All the people who said Trump didn't know what he was doing, including Elon, are now eating crow. Just saying. And this one, C3 said Democrats and the media trying to figure out how to explain why unelected Elon Musk running Doge was a threat to democracy and the unelected parliamentarian changing legislation is not. Because you've had a parliamentarian who's just changed the rules to try to get the big beautiful bill and some of its stuff off. Eric Doherty said breaking US Senate rejects measure to kick illegal aliens off Medicaid 56 to 44. It was going to only need 50 plus 1 votes. But the Democrat parliamentarian decided it needed 60 votes while scrutinising the big beautiful bill. Fire her. That is insane. This person here, I can't even say their name, I can't pronounce it. But anyway, if illegal immigrants can't receive Medicaid, then why did 44 senators vote in favour of illegal immigrants receiving Medicaid? Can someone explain this to me like I'm AOC? Anyone? Okay, Nick Sautor said the US Senate just rejected the measure to remove 1.4 million illegals from Medicaid, all because Thune refuses to fire the parliamentarian. She's forcing this provision to need 60 votes. That's crazy. It really is crazy. Who is this parliamentarian? And they should be sacked. Okay, over here to Australia for a minute. Senator Matt Canavan said the Palachuk Labor government raided billions from Queensland rainy day funds to waste on hydrogen. Now they say, oh, sorry, it's too hard. We are all left to pay Labor's bill. You know why? They do this all the time. You know why? Because I believe they pocket that money. They pocket it. That's what I think. But that's just me, again. DK said Florida Senator Rick Scott should be the leader of the Senate, but the compromised deep state Republicans made sure that didn't happen. Now we have zero leadership in John Thune. Okay, Josh Dunlap said breaking President Trump's term limit plans. Trump plan limits House members to 6 years and senators to 12 years, which would remove 73% of the 115th Congress, including 318 House reps and 46 senators. Ooh. Keep an eye on that one. Senator Matt Canavan said, why is an Australian government employee safety office cooperating with an NGO that wants to see Trump sidelined? Today, the E-Safety Commissioner lost another court case. There can be no trust that she is properly enforcing the law in an unbiased fashion. Hi, Rob. Thank you for sharing. Well done for leading this important work. Amazing what can happen in just a few days. Talk about a total Twitter meltdown. Makes me so sad for the company I really loved working for and for my former colleagues. Your line of questioning is broadly consistent with the concerns I raised in my letter, and I imagine you gleaned more following the Space's call to the advertising community. You have some very powerful levers at your disposal. We would be grateful if GARM can, I did read this yesterday, I think, can keep us updated on how Twitter responds and share any information so it can take into account our engagement and regulatory decisions. She was on her way to DC tomorrow. When was this? 2022. And I'm looping in someone who is on point for these issues on my team. It will certainly be fascinating to watch this unfold. That must be soul-destroying, Rob. I worked in the 102nd Congress at a time when members worked across parties on issues of mutual concern. America's not the country of promise I grew up in or left 22 years ago. It makes me sad to see the societal polarisation and deterioration on so many fronts, and frankly, the violence that permeates discourse in the name of free speech, not to mention the more obvious Second Amendment. Move to Australia, Julie. No, don't move here. Whoever Rob is, don't move here. Wow. Quite interesting. Yeah, what's she doing here? Obviously still going at Trump and Elon from over here. Okay, Jason Storm Chaser Nelson said, so the reason they kept poisonous dyes in our food was because no one ever bothered to ask them not to do so? Lips of TikTok said JM Smucker plans to remove synthetic dyes from its jams and other products by the end of 2027. Smucker also owns brands like Hostess, Jif, Uncrustables. The wins for Maha just keep piling up. There you go. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Kira said, how? By what process did they register for government services? If they're undocumented, how the hell are they paying taxes? Once again, no one asks the obvious questions when vomiting out retarded talking points. James Tate said, facts matter. Undocumented immigrants paid more taxes last year than Amazon, GM, IBM, and Netflix combined. Really? How? Do they register for government services? If they're undocumented, how the hell are they paying taxes? Once again, no one asks the obvious questions. Okay, Josiah Lippincott said no one is forcing illegal immigrants to stay in Alligator Alcatraz. They always have the option to just go home. The flight is free. What are they waiting for? Okay, and this Zoran Mamdani. Charlie Kirk said, just in, Zoran Mamdani responds to Trump saying if elected, he will refuse to let ICE terrorise New York. Someone should remind him that impeding law enforcement officers from enforcing immigration laws is a federal crime. No one is above the law, Zoran. Okay, what he did right was the President of the United States just threatened to have me arrested, stripped of my citizenship, put in a detention camp and deported. Not because I've broken any law, but because I'll refuse to let ICE terrorise our city. Well, that is breaking the law. His statements don't just represent an attack on our democracy, but an attempt to send a message to every New Yorker who refuses to hide in the shadows. If you speak up, they'll come for you. What a load of bullshit. We will not accept this intimidation. That Trump included praise for Eric Adams and his authoritarian threats is unsurprising, but highlights the urgency of bringing an end to this mayor's time in City Hall. At the very moment when MAGA Republicans are attempting to destroy the social safety net, kick millions of New Yorkers off of health care, and enrich their billionaire donors at the expense of working families, it is a scandal that Eric Adams echoes this president's division, distraction and hate. Voters will resoundingly, hopefully not reject it, in November. Charlie Kirk said, breaking President Trump says that if Mamdani blocks ICE, we'll just have to arrest him. This is the way. Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, I'm hitting the right one. Oh, yes, I am. Cool. Jeez, I just had to make sure I was hitting the right like button there. Good name. Nurses Against Dick Pics said Elon literally said he stole the election for Trump. I don't think he did. Elon said, without me, Trump would have lost the election, Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. I'm not going to like that. I believe this, yeah, this person's got the Ukrainian flag flying. And she thinks that Elon is saying here that he stole the election for Trump. Yeah, work that one out. Clandestine said Trump's now striking back at Elon. I'm starting to get kayfabe theatre vibes. Yes, so am I. Feels like Elon and Trump are trying to create the optics of distance. I have a very hard time believing this public feud is real, but as always, we shall see. It's easier to spot in hindsight. I think it is too. Derek Evans said breaking Trump administration has officially found Harvard in violation of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. This act bans discrimination on the basis of race, colour and national origin. All of Harvard's federal funding could now be cancelled. Good. Brad said, people really are massively stupid. We really have lived in a very effed up timeline. Social distancing hats. It wasn't a pandemic. It was an IQ test. Said this person here allegedly, okay? Allegedly. Il Donaldo Trumpo said Elon is still family. Families fight sometimes. Now it's looking more like theatre, isn't it? Insurrection Barbie said Mamdani and his policies are not even the real problem. The real problem is that he is a test candidate for a new pipeline that the most radical portion of the Democrat Party has assembled in hopes that they can elect more people just like him. And when I say people like him, I mean people who hate Western civilization. The DSA, SJP, CAIR Red Green Alliance that has more in common with the CCP in Iran than they do with us. And that's the real dangerous part about his ascendancy in the mayoral race. Okay, Juanita Broderick said Candace is nuts, period. Don Luca has said Candace Owens just uploaded a video announcing that the White House allegedly contacted her to stop talking about French president's wife, Brigitte Macron, so that France can help create peace between Russia and Ukraine. I doubt that very much. And you did the thing on Brigitte Macron like a couple of months ago, wasn't it? We'll get to Candace in a minute because she's not a good person. She is not a good person. I had every right to feel some kind of way about her because and not trust her, because you'll find out in a minute. And Wokeness said this is what desperation looks like. US aid cuts may cause over 14 million additional deaths by 2030, study says. Yeah, they're panicking. Tom Fitton has added context. The parliamentarian is a Senate staff person. Oh. So they don't even... Oh, my God. And they've just changed the rules in the Senate. Wow. Nice one. AKA said breaking RFK Jr. says the CDC covered up an internal study which found a 1,135% increase in autism risk. Oh, from a certain thing. I'm going to have to put that in the medical bookmarks to discuss on Rumble. Interesting. I think we're going to find more than that, but that's just me. Okay, Elon Musk said if this insane spending bill passes, the American Party will be formed the next day. Our country needs an alternative to the Democrat-Republican uni party so that people actually have a voice. And this is, I think, what started it all. Okay, John Ruddock said, thank you, Billboard, Chris and Elon Musk. Time to resign, tweeting Jules, the safety commissar. You are using taxpayer funds to block free speech in Australia and you keep losing. X and Meta beat you in court over the Wakely Church video. Celine V. Machine won an appeal in the AAT when you tried to ban her exposure of trans radicalism. Billboard, Chris and X have had another big win today. Free speech is making a comeback. Billboard, Chris said, we won. Together with X, we just defeated Australia's government in a huge victory for free speech. The E-Safety Commissioner's effort to censor me and demand that X complies has failed. This sets an important precedent. Oh, God, can I talk? Congratulations, Australia. Okay, you hear that, YouTube? Can't censor people, right? And the e-safety, Karen, are you there? Can you hear me? Albo? Anyone? Stop censoring me. Topher Fields said, am I the only one sick of the hype? Try this instead. Hey, everyone, we've got a really big storm inbound. Flooding is likely. Everyone be careful. Use your head and look out for each other. That wasn't so hard, was it? Last opportunity warning as bomb cyclone nears. That's what it was called last night, what we got, right? I had to go to my grandson's birthday, right? So I drove an hour down the mountain, which I got hammered by sideways rain and wind. Obviously, the wind was blowing the rain sideways. So much so that even though I had my window open a couple of millimetres, I was getting hit in the eye with raindrops, okay? I was nearly blown off the road. The wind was that strong, I was nearly blown off the road, but I didn't consider it a bomb cyclone. These are new fear tactics. Renaming the weather, you know, to make it sound scary, okay? That's what they do. Weirdos. But anyway, yeah, it was a storm, you know, pretty big one. Not as windy as they said, but like where I am anyway. When I started driving down the mountain towards the coast, that's when the wind picked up. Thank God. Didn't hit hard here. Okay, Rob Smith said, I cannot find a photograph of this predator. His image should accompany this article. People have the right to know. He has worked at over 20 daycare centres since 2017. A man charged as part of an investigation into alleged essay at Melbourne childcare centres, penetration of a child under 12, attempted penetration of a child under 12, assault of a child under 16, assault in the presence of a child under 16, produce child abuse material for use through a carriage service, use carriage service to transmit child abuse material, possess child abuse material for use through a carriage service, recklessly contaminate goods to cause alarm or anxiety, use carriage service to offend, use carriage service to cause child abuse material to be transmitted to self. These charges relate to 8 victims who were placed at Point Cook Childcare Centre between April 2022 and January 2023. Brown was remanded and has remained in custody since that time. He will appear at Melbourne Magistrates Court on 15th of September, 2025, and I'm going to add this, where he will probably be let off or receive 18 months in prison or something ridiculous like that. And we need to know who he is. All we know is his name is Joshua Brown. Okay. Billboard Chris said we won. I hope Australia changes its look. I mean, its agenda about free speech. The Vigilant Fox said RFK unloads disturbing. Oh, I might have to talk about this one on Rumble. It's pretty much about what I just mentioned, I believe, on certain procedures that are not good for people. And if they're not good for people, then they're not good for your dogs or cats. Yeah, I'm going to read that on Rumble. Alaska Bird said Candace had very rough start with social autopsy. Here we go with Candace. Did you know Candace Owens ran a doxing website? And it included doxing children. Okay, Candace had a very rough start with Social Autopsy, a website that doxed people for mean tweets, including children. Candace was going to end online bullying, but people did not trust Candace wasn't the bully herself. Here she answers facts about the very controversial splash page, as she sometimes referred to it. The more I learn about this site, the more disturbing it gets. Okay, we're going to listen to the whole thing. You ready?
This next question is very alarming to me. People keep writing in asking us, how is this legal? This worries me because I think people are actually shocked that the internet is public. That's the best way that I can answer this question. The internet is public. We are not hacking into your computers or breaking into your houses and stealing hard drives. You guys are putting all this information out there and we are just aggregating it. So it's legal because if I can do a Google search and find out all this information, if I want to put it somewhere else, that's all completely fair use. I hope that answers your question. This was a comment from Erin from Connecticut. She said, the site this woman created actually can be used to bully if used improperly. Not that great. It is Candace Owens, the founder of socialautopsy.com. So Owens and her team will serve as judge and jury. Yes, John. That's sort of how it works when you have any company. So yes, from our, for our team, we decide what we think meets the standards of harsh language. That's just what it means, to own a company. You get to decide these things. We have gotten so many comments, questions, and concerns written in about our database.
Sorry, I just said harsh language. Really, Candace? But my mic was off. Okay.
From some of the articles that ran about it. How long do profiles last? For 365 days. After a 1-year span, if the user that has been submitted hasn't done anything else, hasn't really said anything that's bad, we totally believe in forgiveness and second chances. What if somebody creates a fake Facebook on profile and so the screenshots that are being submitted aren't real? That is a fair question. I think that the most obvious way to answer that is just to say, if somebody creates a fake Facebook profile pretending to be you, you've got a bigger problem than social autopsy, right? Your first problem is that someone has created a fake profile pretending to be you. We're a secondhand problem, and not one that's really that much of a threat. We will investigate every claim if someone is purporting to be you, and no matter what, in 365 days, it completely wipes from our database. What about minors? We are seeing a lot of people that are showing concern for minors. If you are a minor, you are not excluded from anything if you are posting in a public place saying awful things. We think the best time to be on our database is when you
There's those hurty words again.
are a minor, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We are trying to affect their, conscious when they're young, so they know to use the internet more responsibly when they're older. You're not applying to college, you're not, going out for a job. And by the way, we don't want to exclude minors because minors are the ones that are killing themselves because of what they're reading online. Don't necessarily have the tools at that age to know how to cope with it. This is a comment. I feel that 1 year is harsh for minors. They are still learning. Okay, so you guys that keep saying this are kind of what is exactly wrong with the internet today. Your child should not be given the internet to learn. They shouldn't be trying out the internet, and trying out saying bad words on the internet. You should be sitting down having conversations with them about how serious the internet is. Giving somebody a gun. You can kill yourself with it, or you can kill somebody else with it. And we don't want minors to be using the internet to learn. I mean, that is exactly why we're seeing so much damage being done to.
That's the only reason minors should be using the internet, is to learn. Educational purposes. Other than that, the parents are the ones who need to discipline their children, or... Yeah, that's Candace.
Kind of calm you guys all down in terms of the trends is that this database is not filled with minors. Due process. That was from Patricia. Patricia, that comment or question sort of confused me. I don't know why we're talking about due process and the due process at all. We are just an archive. Concern should be why these words are being said on the internet at all, not why a secondhand database is collecting the data based off of what's shared. That question altogether, we have nothing to do with legalities and due process of law, and we are not working with police to make sure people who say bad things get arrested. So it's
No, you're just doxing them instead. Nathan Livingston said, did you know Candace Owens started a doxing website in 2016? Social Autopsy was designed to catalogue online hate speech and link to people's real-world identities, including personal information, name, address, workplace, to create a searchable digital footprint. This included minors. Beyond hilarious, 10 years later, Candace Owens is outraged people are being incentivised to speak out against her online. Hate speech. Let's have a look at this one.
Hey guys, it is Candace Owens.
No, it's the same shit. We don't need to hear it again. Okay, and this one, Constantine Kizin said, imagine being so retarded. You think the people have to be paid to criticise you on the internet? As Candace is noticing an increase in anti-Candace and Tucker content. Today we showed you verifiable proof that rabbis in Israel are offering, among other things, Bitcoin to pastors to preach against us on Sunday. I think she's losing the plot, mate. What's going on? Trisha Von Sterling said Candace is upset. Who knew that by posting unhinged conspiracy theories calling for US soldiers to desert, rehabilitating Nazi figures, and being wrong on all your predictions about World War III, you get called out on the internet by people who used to be loyal followers? Yeah, because that's all it is. People who did follow you, Candace. And I didn't know about this website until I searched for more info on Candace Owens. Alaska Bird said, if you gave Candace info anonymously, I've got news for you. Your identity is not safe. She will dox you. Candace has docked ex-police officers for making a video about her, questioning her. Yes, it really was that bad. Worse even. Candace is anti-speech and always has been. She believes in hate speech so much she created a doxing app. She would be one to stand beside Julian Mangrant here in Australia, trying to stop free speech at under 16s. Sean Farash says Candace Owens is now implying I'm being paid to post about her. I'm not, because of course nobody would ever dare question the infallible Candace Owens, right? Or could it be that she told members of our military to get dishonourably discharged? Hang on, I've got a cough. Yeah, I raised awareness and the 4.6 million views and subsequent backlash got under her skin. She doesn't like it when people disagree with her. Candace, I post about you for no incentive other than exposing you for the fraud you are. It ain't working. Yeah, you can just agree to disagree, Candace. You don't have to think everyone's out to get you. Brian Combs said Candace goes where she can make money. She started a doxing site at one point and was a severe leftist. Candace Owens was the CEO of a marketing agency called Degree 180 in 2015. This agency included a blog where she and other commentators wrote about a variety of topics, including political commentary. It's important to note her political views at the time were critical of conservative Republicans and Donald Trump. She later became a conservative commenter and supporter of Donald Trump. Yeah, but she flips back very quickly. Back and forward, back and forward. Donald Trump's bad because he struck Iran. He stopped World War III. Okay. Ian Miles Chong said, I knew Candace Owens before she was popular and she was as crazy then as she is now. She used to say that she thinks the CIA wiretapped her phone. She's in an interview where she says this. This is when she was on the left and doxing teenagers for hate speech. She wasn't popular or influential enough for anyone to even want to wiretap her. Just pure schizophrenia. And Nathan Livingston said, watch Candace Owens do something extremely disturbing. She actively beeps out and hides the name of Keith Fox, a man convicted of molesting multiple minors while naming one of his victims over and over again. She did it so her audience wouldn't look into the case and see she was defending a proven child molester. Well, she just had Harvey Weinstein on too.
The first case involves a man who I am not going to name, and the only reason I'm not going to name him is because at the time of the allegations against him was in fact a minor, and that of course is relevant. So we just want to be ethical here and not expose his name.
Hi, my name is Keith Fox.
So people can look up the case because, as I said, she was underage at the time. Essentially, it was believed that she was having sexual relations with him, and the courts found that to be true. And he is now been sentenced to 24 years in prison.
Liberation and freedom. And it's just a great place to be.
Throughout this episode, by the way, you're going to hear some beeps when I'm discussing this case. If I accidentally say his name,
My name is Keith Fox.
we intend to just beep it out. Performed deviant sexual acts in the bedroom, such as urinating on her during intercourse. We intend to just beep it out. again, just to protect the fact that she was, in fact, a minor at the time of these accusations. Named who is, but it all begins with. So who is? If you hear this, and I know that you have a lawyer, if you would like to sit on this show.
Okay, she's actually saying the name, and Milk Bar TV are bleeping it out because she didn't want to say his name, the child molester, but she said the victim's name over and over and over again.
Detail what happened to you, I will give you a platform, and I mean that. The only reason I'm not going to name him.
My name is Keith Fox.
Is because at the time of the allegations against him, was in fact a minor. I just think that when you have a 14-year-old, you will realize how weird it is that a 30-year-old wanted to have sex with you when you were 14. And that, of course, is relevant. So we just want to be ethical here and not.
Ethical? The child was a minor.
Expose his name.
Hi.
There you go. Tree of Logic. Today, Stephen Crowder exposed Candace Owens as a person who leaked the news about his wife filing for divorce. Now the conservative fans of Candace Owens are attacking Stephen Crowder because Candace can do no wrong. Even though she's famous for doxing private info, welcome to the land of identity politics. A place where white folks will defend evil folks' fuckery as long as they're black and repeat their talking points. This is crazy. See, I didn't even know half of this till I went on a search. And some of this is not even from this year. It's from last year and before. Nathan Livingston, Milk Bar TV, said, did you, I think I just read that. Yep. Beyond hilarious, 10 years later, Candace Owens is outraged that people are being incentivised to speak out against her online hate speech. Okay. And I think, yep, that is it for today. Short and sweet. I'll get to the comments now. What do you guys think of all this? I'm like, I didn't know half of this till I went searching, and I'm sure if I search more, I could. This was only in like half an hour yesterday. Okay, Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Yeah, the little crown thingy, I don't know. YouTube have decided to change things again. Top fans, yeah. And I've got to work out, I was trying to work out right before I started the stream this morning how I changed the microphone volume last time, and I can't remember. Isn't that just great? God, I'm hopeless. Menacing Muskrat said, my remote viewers are not forecasting July as a good month. They are saying that they're pumping negative EMF into the news cycles and everything else, so stock up, gas up, and cash up. Yeah. I would agree, stock up, cash up, and gas up, but yeah. Shannon said, lift your game, Kai, you're slipping. You weren't first today. Alex said, hey, have everyone still getting used to this new tablet? Oh, really? It's always hard getting used to a new one. Tablet, computer. Menacing said, hi, Alex, I'm going to give you my email. Are you ready? John Paul said, just popped in to say hi to everyone. We'll catch you in the morning. Good. Just going on midnight. God bless. God bless you too, John Paul. And your mum. Shannon's asking what an email is. Alex said, hey, Menacing, I tried to text you the other night, but it didn't go through. I couldn't find you on Signal. Yeah, I had that problem before. Menacing Muskrat said, I know, Alex, my husband paid for international charges and we still couldn't get through. Crazy night that was. And then we're here somewhere. Okay, Alex said, take care, God bless, and hopefully catch you next time, John Paul. Sherry said, hello, just me. Just finally made it to alive. Good to see ya. Yeah, Menacing Muskrat, it's top fans or something. I don't know if you can turn it off or... Oh. Menacing Muskrat's at number 1. Alex is at number 2. Deb's at number 3. Gerloff's at number 4. Lucette's at number 5. Kai's at number 6. Dolores is number 7. Pat, you're number 8. And Raven, you're number 9. I thought I could get rid of it, but no. When you click on it, it actually brings up your fans. Okay. You're not fans. You're just like mates, you know. Alex said, I know, such a shame you on Signal. That was that underscore. Okay, yep, good. You've got it and you've said, yep, okay, you've deleted it again. Make sure you delete it, Menacing Muskrat. I didn't want to read your email out online. Lucette said, such a scorching day in southeast England today, I sweated gallons. How you going, G? I loved. Good to see ya. Pat, good to see ya. Sherry. Alex said that was supposed to be a full stop, not a question mark. Okay, everyone's saying hello. Menacing Muskrat said, July 1st, happy Canada Stand Day here. Okay, so July the 1st is Canada Day, which is also my grandson's birthday. And is it Dolores' grandson's birthday as well? Hello, Raven. How you doing? Alex said, I think it's just a new YouTube gimmick, Menacing Muskrat. Yes, I've been seeing it all over MREs, live streams and things like that as well. Deb said, I'm at the scans with Stormy. Sherry's saying hello to everyone. Deb said, hello, Shannon. Why is Shannon at a bus stop? I don't know. Are you all right, Shannon? Sherry said, hard to type with a broken finger. Oh, no, Sherry. Menacing Muskrat's asking Sherry, how did she break a finger? Alex said, if they went halal, they can F off back to the country that thinks that barbaric behaviour is okay. I'm sick and tired of all our countries bending over backwards to accommodate people still living in 600 AD. Yeah, I agree, Alex. Oh, you're dropping the kids off at school bus. Okay, Shannon, cool. Lucette said, Alex, amen to that. Shannon said, super foggy last night and this morning. Yeah, we're just having storms, like not even storms. There was also a flash in the sky last night when I was driving home. Around 6:30 p.m. in the Blue Mountains, I saw a blue flash in the sky and I don't know what it was. Can't find it anywhere. I don't know, like if some electric thing blew up or what happened, but it was a bright blue flash in the sky between 6:30 and 7 p.m. last night. Menacing Muskrat said, I could hear both you and Alex. I was so tired. My husband worked 4 days straight. I could think probably, but you both made us laugh, Deb and Alex. Alex said, oh no, sending love and prayers. Sherry, I hope your finger heals soon. Menacing Muskrat said, my cat's on the keyboard again, jeepers. Sherry said, window fell on my hand, Menacing. That's right. You told us the other day what happened, didn't you? Geoloff said, Elon's being paid to take a dive. Think about how that looks in a century of unrestricted warfare that the PLA CCP is so enthusiastic about. Don't know about the book, Unrestricted Warfare? Find out. Thank you, Geoloft. That sounds about right, by the way. Yep. Because it does seem like it's more theatre. Alex said, I'm glad you could hear us and hopefully it'll be sorted for next time, Menacing. Menacing said, Geoloff, the deep state coffers are getting bare. They need a war. Yeah, they do. We are so close, Alex. Shannon said, Agenda 21 and the Georgia Guidestones told us they want to reduce the population to 5 million. I think it was 500 million. From memory. 500 million they wanted, and that's all they can control. Dolores, how you going? Geoloff said, Menacing Muskrat, absolutely, but the Trump v. Elon back and forth is just pure WWE. That's what it seems like. And Shannon always is, you know, burger. Yeah, that's his way of saying hello, Dolores, by the way. Mention a burger here in Australia, everyone's mouth starts to water. Shannon said, gatekeeper plants. Yes, I do believe that is what Candace Owens is doing. Unfortunately. Menacing Muskrat said, this is an awesome me video, alligator, alka. I don't know what it is, but Menacing Muskrat's put the link in there. Alex said, Tim S. said your computer needs security updates or something, so hopefully it will work next time. I've never had that before where there was just no option to add you. Strange, Menacing. Shannon said, why was your window open? You weren't smoking. Yeah, no, I like fresh air. I like the heater on, but I like my window down slightly for fresh air. Otherwise, I nearly suffocate in the heat from the heater. But it was freezing. So, I don't know. I put the heater on the floor. I'm Irish, don't mind me. I put the heater on the floor and open the window, okay? I need fresh air. Probably from smoking, right? Alex said, I'm not too bad, thank you. I hope you're well and feeling better, Dolores. Dolores said, hi, Hev, 1st of July today. Here is my grandson's birthday as well. Ah, Dolores. There you go. My grandson's birthday is also the 1st of July. Dolores said, Alex, I'm glad to hear you're doing well and feeling better but still having issues. Yeah, I think that goes for a lot of us. Feeling a little bit better but still having issues, yep. God love you. I hope you get well soon, Dolores. Alex said, happy birthday to your grandson, Dolores. Alex said, Candace is a wrong and always has been. I never liked her. Well, I had like a certain feeling about her and I was like, I don't quite trust her. So, Menacing Muskrat said, yes, happy birthday to your grandson, Dolores. Alex said, oh, sorry to hear you're still having issues. Sending love and prayers. Menacing Muskrat said, that is not Candace, Hev. Yes, it is. Yeah, it was. Younger, 10 years ago, it was. She was younger and she had longer hair, yep. Alex said, she sounds so condescending. If she's doxed anyone, especially minors, she's untrustworthy and quite frankly a nasty piece of work. I agree. And, yeah, you can't say anything wrong about Queen and Candace, unfortunately, these days. She always sounds condescending to me, I don't know. And doesn't admit if she's wrong. So, I don't know. Alex said, I think it is, but from when she was younger, menacing, yes, 10 years ago. Dolores said it's her attitude that she can self-appoint herself as the internet police. I've always had a bad feeling about her. Menacing Muskrat said, so Candace is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Another one? Yes, I do believe. Geoloff said, PSA, Karens are now being colorised for your pleasure. Alex said, yeah, she thinks her shit doesn't smell, Dolores. Dolores said, thank you, Alex. I'm not sure how much healing my kidney can do, but I'm asking and believing for a new and fully functioning kidney. Yes, Dolores controlled opposition. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Deb's back home for a coffee. Alex is praying you get one, Dolores. Yes, definitely. Nice cup of tea, that one. And I'm a bit stuffy because I forgot to do a nose rinse yesterday. Ah, dear. Sinus rinse, sorry. Deep State is losing it. Where we go, on we go all. We have arrived, witnessing some crazy days. Hallelujah. I agree, Menacing Muskrat. Yep, nothing can stop what's coming. Alex said, evil woman, well done, Milk Bar, for keeping it out. Same old, same old. They all protect the pedos while throwing the abused children together. Wolves, disgusting. To the wolves, yes, I agree. Okay, where was I up to? Here somewhere. Everyone's saying hello. Menacing Muskrat said, same as AOC, little from the Bronx. She lived in high society. Yep. Alex said, I think they're going to try something that's been trickling down for weeks. They can't stand us being happy and just getting on with our lives. They have to keep us in a state of perpetual fear. I agree. Dolores said, that's my memories too, Hev. I think I need to start putting post-it notes everywhere to remind myself of where I put things and how I fixed my last issue. Dolores said, what? I got a rank? Yeah, I think they just show number 1, 2, and 3. I don't know. Deb said, yes, we missed you, Menacing. Alex said, I'm sick of it. It's like being forced in a forced abusive relationship with the government. It is. If your partner acted like the government, you would have left them a long time ago. Yep, dropping off the kid, Shannon. Dolores said, my little grandson turned 10 today. Happy birthday. Deb said, sending Hev's cats an email. Alex said, yeah, they've been trying to cull the population for decades. I wish they'd just leave us alone to live in peace. Deb said, Stormy has booked a cabin at Mildura. Oh, nice. Shannon said, turn the heater down. It's adjustable, you know. Yeah, I know, but no, I like it full ball. Turn right up. Otherwise, it does nothing. And a window open. I can't help myself. I need a window open, Shannon. I need the fresh air. Deb said, yes, my family does the same thing and it freak out the Irish family. We always have a window open no matter the weather. Exactly, Deb. I need the fresh air. Maybe it's because I smoked all my life, but I need the fresh air. Alex said, how lovely. You'll have to send plenty of pictures of your road trip, Deb. Deb's laughing at Shannon. Shannon said, can't say nothing bad about Queen Candace. Yep. Geoloff said the doctrine by the CCP, unrestricted warfare, is an addendum to Sun Tzu's Art of War, and it's in full force. Remember the Wolfowitz doctrine? Remember the quiet weapons for silent wars 2025 doctrine? Yes, I do. Alex said, I hope you had a lovely time at your grandson's birthday yesterday, Hev. Yes, I did. How you going, Zal? Yeah, information war. Where was that? Yeah. Yep, Shannon, I agree. Alligator Alcatraz Betty Johnson show. Menacing Muskrat put in there. Shannon said, Zal, pal. Zal said, Candace Owens is educated like Salty Cracker says. Yes. Shannon said, August is a very hot month. Shannon said, Ree. Deb said, I just might need to start planning now. I've not gone far from home since acquiring my ostomy bag. Yep. Randy said, where is Epstein list? It is arrest o'clock. They're all on the list. Yep, Zal, educated. Menacing Muskrat said they want their loosh, no more. And how you going, Randy and Zal? Zal said they're being starved, menacing, hence the frenzy. Shannon said, turn the knob from recycle to fresh. I think it already is on that. Deb said, yes, Shannon. Alex said, yes, definitely menacing muskrat. They love the loosh. Menacing muskrat. Sorry, that was me with I can't even talk anymore. Deb said, well, I want to travel, so it's time to learn to get out of my comfort zone. Sal said, we're just about at the end of the script, folks, then it's boom time. Deb is laughing at Shannon. And with that, I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. Just under an hour. That's a good live stream. Just under an hour. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there and I will see you tomorrow again. Have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.